stand-up comedy, the 15 hidden business models for us as pro comedians. What's the scariest thing that a comedian can do? What's the scariest thing? It's to sit front row at your open mic and furiously take notes. Because what are they doing? They're stealing jokes. We're not going to be stealing jokes here. Stand-up comedians. We're not stealing jokes, are we? No. We are going to have a live action workshop where we get to laugh while we're winning, exploring 15 hidden business models of working comedians. Is this going to be super helpful for you? Oh, yeah. Where are you at right now? Let me guess. 1, you're dabbling at open mics, hoping to become a star by getting recognized. 2, you're not bombing because your content, your body of work, it's actually pretty good. But you're in a situation where the odds are stacked against you. Sound familiar? 3, you're hoping beyond hope that your day job can somehow fund you in comedy long enough so that way eventually I'm going to be a working comedian, right? Am I reading your journal? Kind of. I'm kind of reading your journal as I walk you through what the Atlas Society is and why am I wearing this hat? Because guess who's doing stand-up comedy at the next Michael Saylor unofficial $100K per share of MicroStrategy? This guy in the front row, taking notes at Atlas Society or this stand-up routine, which is all about your money, which is all about your money, which is all about laughing and, oh, Larry, I don't think you're that funny, okay? I don't think you're that funny. Instagram, Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, y'all are inverted. Because this is a book that you could have just read on your own and applied it to your day job, which is not quite filling your side hustle being a stand-up comedian. What are we going to do here? We're going to go over 13 plus more business model hypotheses so that way we can become working comedians. I said 13. The title of this video is 15. Where are we at with the first 2? Because like free comedy shows with a 2-drink minimum, did you get the first 2 that I already gave you? Right? That's why you should be the scary comedian in the front row during this stand-up comedy, taking notes, so that way stealing jokes, gonna be kind of tough because I'm whiter than you are. Stealing jokes is gonna be hard because you don't have this as a platform. That as a platform. Miami Math. Brickell, Monday nights. Oh, that's the guy who's pretty hilarious at Brickell Comedy Nights on Monday. I know that guy. Yeah, I've seen him a couple times. He could be going somewhere. Let's, instead of gossiping about why I'm so awesome, because how did I hack comedy nights in doing stand-up? I'm not trying to make the 13 to 8 to 20 people in a room big enough for 80 people try to laugh. Because guess what? It takes too much confidence to laugh. Plus, comedy as a business model right now, it's semi-broken. So guess what? Atlas Shrugged. When I'm saying Atlas Shrugged, What am I talking about? I'm talking about where Atlas is dropping the ball because it's too heavy of a ball. Good news for you, Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club inside of Larry. Why don't you just say something funny? You're so funny. Are you joking? 100% true. Who has two large balls, ladies, that you can pick up? Because my balls are right there for you, which is why this video is me putting 15 balls on a tee. This is not pure stand-up comedy. This is me teeing up balls for you to hit, Maya Brady, niece to Tom Brady, out of the park. Because the first thing I did was I sold myself to my mentee, Michael Saylor, who believed in the Bitcoin pitch that we were all selling him. And guess what? Now Michael Saylor is rising, and is he a potential person to sell our stand-up comedy routine to? It is, because when we meet a fan who comes up to us, we want to pull out our notebook, our comedy notebook, and we want to say, do you know of any gigs that we can book into? Versus loser chat, which is, oh, how about you join my Instagram fan club, which I also don't make any money on? Why would you take the money that's in front of you and then all of a sudden decide, oh, I'm going to put on the loser hat, which is not this hat, this is a winner hat. Your loser hat of, oh, well, do you want to follow me on Instagram? What? They're literally, like, you're the worst entrepreneur, you're the worst business person, comedian. That is why you didn't retire from a thing and then do comedy. I'm not saying that you're the business person ever, okay? I am. I am saying that when people are throwing money at you, don't hope for putty. What am I talking about? You know what I'm talking about, because when you meet a person, you ask them, hey, not just sign up for my Instagram or join me on hanging out. Exactly. And this is why we get to win via the 15 kind of secret business models that working comedians know but don't do a video on. Working comedians know this, but then don't say, oh, I learned this genius shiitake from Larry Chang and Alexander Ostrander, because this is how I hack comedy. Finishing, when people are throwing money, don't think that they're throwing putty, meaning join my Instagram. What? No. Ask them, hey, I saw your hat. Can I speak at your company? Can I be a paid comedic speaker for Opal Financial Group Public Fund Summit East? Can I do your lunch keynote? Can I do your Atlas Society keynote before Michael Saylor speaks? Richard Feynman, I read your book, and it was an awesome book. Why is there a war on capitalism, right? And so you're going to be at Atlas Society. Can I speak there? Versus what everyone else does, which is, oh, I will go ahead and add you to my LinkedIn. What? Why would you? What? No. Attack the money. This is the hack. This is the optimization. This is the thing that comedians need to know that they don't teach at Y Combinator, which is when you're in a room of doing open mic, when you're trying to get your brand started up, right? You're trying to make 12 people laugh that aren't paying attention, they're on their phone. This isn't a Joe Rogan comedy mothership event where everyone's phones get taken away. You're in the opposite. The room's not packed. Now you've got to make people laugh. This is the hack. You talk about your something useful that is a regurgitation of this video. You guys have always wanted to be stealing my jokes. They're good jokes, but why don't you steal these jokes? Why? Because your comedian friends don't need to see you practice your shtick. I know you need to hone your jokes, but instead regurgitate this because you're stealing content. I consent to you stealing these jokes. When we talk about business related jokes or networking related jokes, now we get to collab and co-found and non-employee co-found some other faux franchise, some other joke business as a stand-up comedian where we do the prequel comedic for a music festival, or we do the call to order prequel sequel to a lunch keynote. We crash and keynote the Super Bowl because we are doing Radio Row as a faux franchise. And what we're doing is we're connecting with other emerging comedians to produce and attempt to distribute. Do you love how we're at bullet point number 9 and the whole time you're like, I've been laughing off my ass the entire time? No, because your brain is so baked right now with, is this guy hilarious or is he joking? Can I just hire you as a business manager? That's what you don't want to do, which is why comedians like us that are finally working, our business manager ends up stealing from us. We want to be our own DB. We don't want to outsource distribution. And unfortunately, as either musicians doing Boostagram ball or artists doing artistic work, which theater and a one-person show is massively artistic. Now we need to ourselves be the CEO of our brand. You are confused right now because you want to laugh, you want to cry, and you want to hire me. Let's try to do a 5-way real quick. Let's try to do a 5-way real fast. Real quick, a super quick 5-way. A super quick 5-way. A fast 5-way. Super fast, which is CS183H break, which is H for humor. What is comedy? What is comedy? It's the interruption of the expected. How money is that? How money is that tweet? How money is that one-liner? Because you might think about comedy too much because you're always in your comedy notebook, but what are you doing to win? What are you doing to win? We are winning by networking to money while we make jokes about being #hilarious. Because it's not a smoke alarm that is beeping or the person in the front row that is trying to give us googly eyes, because that is the hidden business model of being a male heterosexual comedian, which is, I'm not making any money doing this, but at least I'm making vagina, or I'm making whoopee, or I'm making sweet, sweet love via Snowball. Are you a working comedian that's going to be hired by Berkshire Hathaway? Highly likely, because chapter 66 is the joke franchise of Snowball. What is Snowball? Snowball's the gross thing that is cool if you're into it, where she comes in your mouth and then you spit it back in her mouth. That's a snowball. Or guy comes in girl's mouth and then girl, you know the rest. Can you get a speaking gig at Atlas Society? Because this is front running ahead in the comedy where some comedians laugh at other comedians' jokes, even though they've heard them. Some comedians laugh at their own jokes before they deliver the punchline. Those people are named Larry Chang because I'm going to watch this video. I'm going to take notes on this video. I'm going to transcribe this video, which is why this delivery is so energetic and awesome, because for historic purposes, BM, the business model of comedians, where are we getting on social media and not hoping for one new subscriber or one more like? We're not. We're trying to make every video profitable that we load up as comedians. How are we doing that? By focusing on lead generation and business model. Am I the new mentor to Barack Obama, president number 44, supplanting Saul Alinsky? Maybe, because South by South Larry is hilarious, which is me installing myself like the Warren Buffett Berkshire Hathaway annual conference, but at South by Southwest. Have they picked me as the comedian for South by? I don't know. Is there talk about it? But guess what? Instead of discussing it and gossiping about it, or worst, sitting at home trying to manifest, we are, instead of manifesting it, we are actively pressing forward with a joke franchise. Chapter 66, South by South, Larry. Why did I bring up Saul Alinsky, Barack Obama's old mentor, to Barack Obama's again mentor, round tripped back? Larry Chang. Nice to meet you. It's Chiang. South by South Larry, where we sell tickets to South by Southwest, and it's a 11-minute stand-up comedy before March 11 to March 18. Would you like to buy a ticket? It's $50. If you do buy a ticket and say 2 positive things, I'll round trip your $50 back to you. Do you see how we're on business model 23 already? Because initially I promised 15. I wanted to fill you up with some giant money energy, and this money energy is, to me, pretty hilarious, right? Atlas Society, Michael Saylor, 15 business models into treasury operations, 0 coupon bonds, no recourse. That explosion is inside baseball for talking with specific jokes to specific audience members. Remember, we're in a comedy club with a room big enough for 120 people. And guess what? There's only 12 people there, because who has $60 to spend on a Tuesday on a date for 2, $120 in this economy? Are there single digit numbers of people now in some of these rooms? Yeah. Sometimes there's almost 20 comedians and 6 audience members. And in order to just even get up on stage for stand-up comedy, so that way you can add to your video reel, comedians have to literally pay 2 drinks in order to perform. If that's not hilarious to you, I'm laughing at you because we can solve this problem. You thought I was going to be laughing at you, right? I will not laugh at you, Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, which comes to every one of my things, okay? Hashtag Miami Math. It's comedic gold when the Chinese dude tells math jokes on stage. I'm in room, my bedroom. My door's locked. Larry, what are you doing in there? My dad doesn't talk like that, which is why there's a business model of once I get even more rich doing stand-up comedy, remember, money in, no money out, but now a little bit of money out because I need a voice coach for a Chinese accent. Larry, what are you doing in there? I hate locked doors. I unlock the door. What are you doing in here? Oh, me, Dad? I'm just masturbating. You're not just masturbating. What are you doing? Do you have your math book open? Are you using a fucking calculator right now? No, Dad. I was just masturbating. You are not. You are using your calculator for math. Were you not? By the way, it's totally allowed. Were you cheating by using a calculator? Were you? Why are you home on Saturday night doing math homework? Do you really like math? No, Dad. I was masturbating. This is not my joke. Not delivered very well, but guess what? It doesn't need to be delivered super well because that's Jimmy from Silicon Valley's joke. Who am I on that TV show? I am not the Chinese guy. I'm the VC. Brosif. Hey, we got the floor for the Warriors. You in? Are you a hooper? And then the guy who runs the incubator is like, I am. What red-blooded American VC isn't in the venture capital game? The funny component is we are not watching basketball on the floor of the Warriors game. We're not watching basketball. We're playing basketball, which is why my video yesterday is, Larry, you talk so much shit. Are you even good at baseball? Because with your level of knowledge and you being low-key hilarious, you should join my baseball team. Oh, you want me to join your baseball team? I'll join your baseball team. But you need to prove that you can throw harder than 80 miles an hour. Spittles. That's the business model of a video where this video here may not be making you say, let's hire Larry Chang for next year's Atlas Society because last year was Michael Saylor. This is a money video where we go from Atlas Society YouTube watcher to comedic participant. We go from laughing at comedy shows to winning comedy shows. That's what they don't teach you at Y Combinator is some super funny shit. And then we move forward because the money propels us. Money's not going to force us to quit. We quit when we get tired or burnt out of making hot women laugh and then hot women throwing vagina at us, right? Because this is just what happens. But then having the genius business model of, hey, you're super cute and like this is such a compliment, you throwing hoodie the way that you are from the front row. I really do want to hang out with you and your super fuego Miami friends. I really do. But before that happens, what? You want us to follow you on Instagram and then upload a video? Well, that's a given. this is what we're going to need to do because this is my business model. Is my business model now going into ass model? Oh, yeah, because this is in the bonus round of. Did he just explain to me what his ass model is? What is an ass model even? Is that just a hot ass in Miami? It's both, which is what is your business model for getting ass? What is your business model? What is your business model for vagina management? Are you going to just say yes to the first thing, or are you going to literally make her work for it? Yeah, that's the right answer. Is Larry, how do we make her work for it? And this is how. She's not only going to post a little snippet of your stand up routine to her Instagram, which will be lost and cannot monetize. We're going to monetize before we win. So we're winning while we're winning, which is HTMMWYMM. Thank you for coming to my comedy show and TED Talk and lecture. Y Combinator lecture Tuesday night dinner with comedian Shelby Haas, SAP, Larry Chang, which is ass model. If your ass model is really rigid, like you can't take a bowel movement because your butt's all puckered up and your digestive system's whack, and now your second brain and your gut instincts are messing up, what it sounds like you need to do is you need to come to Larry Chang's next keynote at Tuesday night Y Combinator, which is how do I better do a bowel movement so that way we win at entrepreneurship via digestive energy, our second brain, so that way we can have heart brain coherence. What is our gut? It's actually our second brain. And now you're charging people, back to the hot girl, you're charging her, you're not charging her anything. You're wrangling her to get you a paid gig. She's the one who's product manager at some tech startup. I mean, she lives in Miami. She's going to be successful. And so what are we doing? We're putting a price on ourselves. We're valuing ourselves. Does this sound like a secret business model that male comedians know that female comedians also should value? Which is, do you value yourself? Or are you going to just take the easy layup because you're so hungry for putty? Or can you tell her, thank you, you're super cute, but beyond being super cute, what else can you do for me? You don't ask that, but you're like, before we hang out, can you get me a deal? Because I'm really stressed about having to pay rent. Get it? That's what pay pig girls are looking for, is somebody to pay their rent. Where, will you help me get to the next level by helping me sign a deal? Oh yeah, my friends, the nightclub, blah 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 or my friends got this restaurant, or we have this venue, and so you take that bang, I want to bang you, Larry Chang energy, which is what they don't teach at Y Combinator, and then you take that energy and you wrap it specifically into getting a deal done. Is this ass model? Yeah. Is this what females have kind of used? Yeah, but dirtily, which is why hashtag vagina whisperer is actually a real thing that is not yet at Tuesday night dinner for Y Combinator, where the business model that women use is dating for food, but guess what? That algorithm has now changed, right? Men aren't throwing dinners at us to woo us. But guess what? Women might be. Okay, they are specifically. Which is why selling a video for a dinner, selling and doing lead gen at a stand up open mic night, not lead generation for people who will pay us. We're using, I can't even say it. We're doing open mic nights not to lead generate Instagram followers, which giant mistake, a giant business model mistake, a giant heaping turd of mistake. We are using open mic. I can't even say it. It doesn't roll off the tongue because they're atrocious. We're using open mic night to do comedian to comedian collaborations so that way the two drinks that we had to buy end up having return on investment. What are we collaborating with on a comedian? So it's you, the comedian, plus one other loser comedian who, for Peter's sake, drives an Uber to try to pay for his passion project, which is to be a working comedian. Maybe not that guy. Maybe an engineer. In fact, a software engineer is the best person to try to do a collaboration on because they have their nut covered. They're not stressed about money where they will screw you for $60 because they're so low on money that that comedian is going to screw you. Does this sound like it's hitting the nail right on the head? Heck yeah, because this is not Atlas Shrugged. This is a pre-keynote to Atlas Society keynote with the comedian Larry Chang explaining to you 15 ways that Michael Saylor makes money doing his form of stand-up comedy, which is making billionaires chortle. Finding a software engineer person, tech bro, to do a collaboration. So it's going to be you, the comedian, a tech bro comedian who might be doing his first attempt. Maybe this is the person. Maybe they just did a workshop that they paid for. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do what? We're going to chapter 66. Is this bullet point number 34 for the hidden business models that working comedians have that you don't know about? Because guess what? Working comedians are incredibly resourceful, which is why there's so many of us from the tribe that just dominate comedy, right? Us Jewish people are great at comedy. And so this is where you, your notebook, your comedy notebook, your comedy pad clipboard, your software engineering friend who's doing stand for the first time, or just graduated from a class that cost $800. Orrin Hoffman, 3-time, 4-time, 5-time exit-er, dare I say, billionaire, non-employee co-founder of multiple companies, and my personal friend who tripled after they took a comedy class. Should you be reaching out to Orrin Hoffman? If you want. And do you see how useful this video is? Because this is the business model of you, a software engineering or tech bro friend, with me in a 5-way. Because we're going to get 2 more people and we're going to do a study group on this video that you can pay me $250 for. If you do 2 things from this video, I will give you $125 back, because the 250 will get you more than 250, or I'll give you your money back. Either way, it's hilarious that at open mic night, I'm asking a comedian for $250 when you're getting your co-founder, who's the software dude. What are you doing? Oh, this is juicy. This is, grab a pen, comedians. This is what they don't teach you at Y Combinator about being a working stand-up comedian, as we're on our third iteration of going through YC. This is not the first time. This is not the first time I've won at stand-up comedy. This will be the second time. I swear, I've never done this before. What they don't teach at Y Combinator about being a working comedian after you unretired from stand-up comedy and now are back on the grind. Back on the grind, which is this. You charge your co-founder $250. If your co-founder does two things before they flake, you give them their money back. What are you doing? You're doing a 5-way proprietorship before you ace it for your life. And do you see how your stand-up comedy is making you a better tech co-founder in the same way that I, non-employee co-foundered Peter Thiel's acquaintance, friend, to launch a external API funded company, Rapleaf, which then became a half a dozen spin-off businesses. This is a spin-off. We have spun off. That's what they don't teach you at Y Combinator, is the Oren Hoffman Founders Fund, Peter Thiel, Larry Chang Mafia cohort inside of a Tuesday dinner comedic keynote at YC. Is this me showing off? A little bit. But what matters is that you pick up the money. Laugh, don't laugh. Cry, you won't have to unless you get super rich, because every person who makes $1 million cries. I don't know why. If they didn't cry, they didn't make $1 million, which is how I can tell when I'm asking questions if people are revealing of their money situation, right? Reveal to win. Let's say you're not in stand-up comedy and you just came here to laugh, right? That's okay. That's okay. Sign yourself up for Atlas Society's keynote, which this is. This is the keynote. I'm just repeating the same thing here. Gosh, this has been an amazing video. I'm really glad that we could learn together, laugh together, be hilarious together. Hashtag Hi Larry Ass. Hat tip Chameleonaire, who said, oh my gosh, you're hilarious. But you know what you are? You're Hi Larry Ass. And then I helped him be a VC, because not only was he hilarious, Chameleonaire, he also became a VC in Los Angeles with Mark Suster, Upfront Ventures. What can this 5-way yield? I don't know, but I'm excited for step 1, which is 3-way. And step 1 before that, step 1 is external API. and step 1A, which is send me $250, and then if you do two things that are positive and you post your own YouTube video or Instagram live stand-up comedy, doesn't even need to be funny. Hopefully it'll be funny. When it is, I will Larry Chang reverse rebate model back to you that money. Am I previewing tomorrow's YouTube takedown? No. It's Reddit's countermeasures via Alexis Ohanian over on Reddit. Alexis Ohanian started Reddit, University of Virginia, and then became a little bit of a cesspool of inaccuracy. And since I joined the Democratic Party on November 7, 2024, this is what they don't teach you at Y Combinator is you actually want to take haters that then distribute deals for us. So you take those hater tiers, and then you don't even make lemonade out of it. You make money. And I'm not talking about shitty US dollar money. I'm talking about Bitcoin money. What they don't teach you at Y Combinator, they do teach you at Atlas Society 2023. Because get it? This is 2025 right now, and this video is killing 38 birds with one video. The last 2-minute statement killed 3 to 6 birds, but definitely more than 2 birds with the one stone, because let's say you didn't laugh because it was not funny to you. When it becomes hilarious to you, that's when you have won. That's when you will have won the money game. That's when you will absolutely say, oh my God, I can't believe that video was free. Atlas Society. Seriously, Atlas Society. Laugh, love. Did you enjoy yourself? I care.